Today is Tuesday, October 7th, and this is the Bay Blend from WUSF. I'm Sky LeBron. Tariffs are hitting a ton of small businesses hard across the country, and the Tampa Bay region is no exception. You're going to hear from one Asian grocery store in Bradenton about what they're feeling, as they say they might have to close up shop. Plus, you'll hear about some pumpkin patches and a 2-for-1 museum experience in St. Pete you can check out. But first, the news. Hillsborough County formed a DOGE committee to eliminate areas of what they're calling wasteful spending. This is after a state report said Hillsborough has misspent about $280 million since 2019. Jake Hoffman is leading the committee. He's looking at programs like one that gives incentives to the film industry.
Most of these are going to people who don't live in Hillsborough County. The companies aren't in Hillsborough County. I don't even know if they film 10% of the in Hillsborough County. So I think we should be highly critical of these film subsidies.
County officials say their overall staff has decreased since 2019, and that a lot of that jump in spending went to local police and fire protection and other departments that have budgets not controlled by the county. WUSF has this cool team called Your Florida that answers questions you might have on state law. Someone in St. Pete just asked, what happened to the state's sunshine laws? Those are Florida's public record laws, which are some of the most open in the country. They were created in 1967 to make government meetings and records open and accessible. UF professor Ted Brightus teaches public records law, and he says Florida is still in pretty solid standing with that law.
Transparency in government is something that is in our DNA. The good news is that Florida is pretty good. The perception and somewhat reality is we have a better public records law than a lot of states.
Some laws passed this year have made exemptions for records on things like people applying for affordable housing or the names of minors asking to terminate a pregnancy. Universal Orlando has reopened the Stardust Racers ride after a man died on it last month. Kevin Rodriguez-Zavala's family hired attorney Ben Crump. He says they were talking to Universal about having their own experts examine the ride, but instead they reopened it. The resort's CEO says the ride was reviewed by multiple parties before they decided to reopen. Zavala died of multiple blunt force injuries after getting on the ride, but a full autopsy hasn't been made public. The Trump administration's tariffs have hit many small businesses hard, with the price of a bunch of products and materials from out of the country having gone up. Wonkai Imports in Bradenton is no stranger to the price hikes. They've been around for more than 40 years, one of the few Asian produce stores in Manatee County. In fact, they're saying they might have to close up their store because the price of everything has increased. WUSF's Nancy Guan spoke with the store's owner about what led to that possibility. Nancy, what kind of products are Wonkai Imports selling?
So Wonkai Imports is a family-run shop that sells all kinds of goods from countries like the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, but mostly from China. And as you may have heard, Trump has levied steep tariffs for a lot of different countries, but for China in particular, he's threatened to go as high as 145%. Now, the current rate on Chinese imports has settled at around 30% since they've reached a temporary truce, but John Wong, the owner, says he's already hurting with these price hikes.
The product coming in every single week with a change price every single week. I mean, I never seen that before in my life.
Nancy, were you able to see any examples of the price hikes in the store?
Yeah, Wong had a great example. He pointed out this one product on his shelf, a sauce for mapo tofu. That's a spicy dish from Sichuan, China. And there was basically 3 versions of the same product, but with a higher price tag for each new shipment. Here's what he said.
This mapo tofu, it came in at $275 last year. And then, beginning of the year, it went up to $395. We just have this shipment coming in yesterday. It's $5. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
So it's not getting spicier. It's still the same size. Okay.
It's not spicy. Everything is like, it keep going up.
Wow, that's a pretty telling example. So, I mean, is there any plans for him? What's the future of the store looking like?
So John told me that if things continue to be this way, he might not last until the end of the year. And it's not only the tariffs, I should note. Inflation, property taxes, upkeep of the store, all of that has gotten more expensive over the years. But he says these tariffs feel like a tipping point.
I feel sad. It's a legacy. I try to pass down to my kid, but is any future? Is any future for them?
So as a result, one of the few places that people can get Asian groceries in Manatee County could go away.
Nancy did a really good feature on this particular store. You could get a bunch of different perspectives on what's going on and how this kind of shows the national scale of what's happening as well. That's all at WUSF.org. Nancy, thank you for the time.
Thanks, Sky.
This afternoon into evening, fully commit to fall by heading over to the Pumpkin Patch at the University Town Center, Sarasota. This lasts until the 26th, but if you want to get the plumpest, pumpkiniest pumpkins, you got to get there early. Every pumpkin purchase goes toward Nate's Honor Animal Rescue Center, so do a good deed. Give a pumpkin a forever home and gut it immediately when you get home to make a picture that looked way better in your head. It's what the pumpkin would want. You ever want to have two museum experiences at once? Well, you got a chance this Thursday night. The Museum of Science and Industry, or MOSI, partnered with the Dali in St. Pete to host some free activities, and this time it's squeezing plants and berries into inks and making art out of it. They're crushing spinach and blackberries this time. Blackberries are top tier, but spinach, I could crush some spinach and not feel sad at all. This event starts at 5 tonight at the Dali if you want to take out your stress on some fruits and veggies. We're closing in on the final few days of Hispanic Heritage Month, or weeks, as I like to call it. It ends on the 15th, so you can celebrate at Sally Mar in Tampa this Thursday with Noche Latina Rooftop Edition. This is an every Thursday event, but there's free salsa class at 8:30 with patio and party vibes. This is a dress to impress type of event, so don't come in slides and joggers. The first 30 people who sign up get in for free, as long as they show up before 10 p.m. General admission tickets are around $18. That's the Bay Blend for this Tuesday. Hope you're ballin', shot calling your way through this week. All that good stuff. Real ballers, like the show, follow it from wherever they're listening, and leave reviews. That's just the baller standard. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you tomorrow.